Okay, so the first exercise is this one. Given two equations in the variables x, y, 3x plus 4y equals 6, and 2x plus b, and 2x plus b equals c. Find all values for b and c, so the system of equations has infinitely many solutions. So there's really two different possible approaches to this question. One is algebraic, and one is geometrical. Since most people did the algebraic approach, let me talk about the algebraic approach. Right. So here we have two equations, and of course when you have two equations you can form the augmented matrix. Okay. And here's the augmented matrix here. All right, now what does this say, the fact that it has infinitely many solutions? Well, first of all, it's consistent. Okay. Second of all, it has free variables because it has more than one solution. Now, since the number of equations is 2, number of variables is 2, the coefficient matrix is square. A square matrix with free variables is going to be a matrix that is singular. So we know these things about this matrix. Now, what does consistent mean? Consistent means the REF has no pivot in the last column. Right? Now, what does free variables mean? I mean, what does singular mean? Singular means it does not, the coefficient matrix rather, sorry, the coefficient matrix does not row reduce to the identity. All right, now, in a 2 by 2 matrix, there are limited possibilities for an REF that is not the identity. So let's go ahead and row reduce this system. All right. So we've got 3, 4, 6, so let's see. The matrix is up there, so what I can take is R1 over 3. Let's just go ahead and do that. And we've got 1, 4 thirds, 2, and then 2 BC. We'll just leave it like that. And then here I can take minus 2R1 plus R2. And that's going to be 1, 4 thirds, 2, and then 0, and B minus 8 thirds, and C minus 2. I'm sorry, let's see, C minus, did I do this right? No, C minus 4. Okay, because it's minus 2 times 2. All right, so we have enough to see something about the REF. Look at first at the coefficient matrix. Now, if B minus 8 thirds is non-zero, then the coefficient matrix will row reduce to the identity. So we know that the coefficient matrix does not row reduce to the identity. So this implies that B minus 8 thirds equals 0. Okay. That means that B equals 8 thirds. Okay. Now, that gives me B. Now, the other thing that we have is consistent. And consistent means that the REF has no pivots in the last column. So no pivot in the last column. If this is 0, this is 0, then C minus 4 must be equal to 0. Okay, so the consistence, so here we have C minus 4 equals 0. And the reason for that is, as I said, this here. Apply this to this here, and that tells me that C minus 4 equals 0. That says C equals 4. All right, so that's the answer. Now, there is a geometrical way also of looking at this problem. So let's cut this off, shut this off, and look at geometrical way. Now, these are the equations of lines. So these are two lines. So let's draw one line. The first line is 3x plus 4y equals 6. So let's think about what that looks like. The best way to draw a line is to look at the x and y intercepts. So here, if I set y equals 0, that gives me 3x equals 6, or x equals 2. So that means that 2, 0 is a point on the line. So let's go ahead and draw that. 1, 2, 0, there's a point on the line. Now, if I want the x-intercept, I'll get x equals 0. And that gives me 4y equals 6. And that tells me that y is equal to 6/4 or 3/2. So that tells me that my other point is 0, 3/2. So I can do here, here, here. The other point is here. So my line is here. From here is here. Passes through. Well, that's about as good as I'm going to get. Sorry. There's my line. Okay. Now, what do we know about the solution set? Well, the solution set is infinitely many solutions. What does that mean? If you look back at the geometric presentation of solutions, that means that the other equation must give exactly the same line. That's the only way you're going to get infinitely many solutions. If the line is parallel, no solutions. If the line intersects crosswise, you have one solution. So the other line must be parallel. Other line is 2x plus by equals c. So 2x plus by equals c must be the same line. Same line. Okay. So what's the x and y intercept here? If I take y equals 0, that gives me 2x equals c, or x equals c over 2. So that tells me that c is equal to 4, because my answer has to agree with this answer up here. Sorry. My answer has to agree with this answer up here. Okay. On the other hand, when x equals 0, that tells me that by equals c, but c is equal to 4, so that means by equals 4, or y equals 4 over b. So that gives me 3/2 equals 4 over b. And then you just cross multiply, that tells me that b equals 8/3. So you get the very same answer both ways. You get c equals 4 and b equals 8/3. All right, so two ways to look at this. I think the geometrical way is interesting and gives you some insight.